Coming up on today's San Francisco 49ers report, the initial 53-man roster is set. Niners have made a lot of roster moves all throughout this week, and the regular season is coming up on September 10th. You have questions, I have answers. That's what we're unpacking on today's show. First, though, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Our goal, 84,000 subscribers, and we are closing in on that number. So if you're looking for daily and year-round Niners talk, this is your go-to spot. Hit that subscribe button today. Cody Broussard getting us started with a $5 super chat. John Lynch is an amazing general manager. How has he not secured Bosa's deal yet? Keep in mind that we're recording this on Wednesday during our live show. No Bosa deal as of right now. And there's so much at play when you're talking about giving him maybe the largest contract for a non-quarterback or the largest contract for a defensive player in the history of the NFL. We're talking $32 to $35 million per year. We're talking millions and millions of dollars. But within the construct of that deal and the fine language of it, there's a signing bonus at play, guaranteed money, years, total money, average annual value, incentives in that deal as well. That's why these things take a long time. But San Francisco did not imagine this playing out this long. They can tell me whatever they want. But for it to be late August, early September, and no Bosa deal with the regular season coming up here on September 10th, this is dragged on longer than the Niners would have liked. Bonton6, $10 super chat. Hey, Chase, where do you rank the Niners offensive line? I'm a little bit worried. As far as the entire unit combined, middle of the pack in the NFL. 32 teams in the NFL. They're in the middle of the pack as far as overall talent, I believe, and as far as their positional spending. That is a fact. Now, Trent Williams is still the best left tackle in the game. Aaron Banks was really, really good. If Spencer Burford has a year one to year two leap, like Aaron Banks had a year one to year two leap, that does wonders for this team. And I'm not going to rule out Colton McKivitz being a little bit better than Mike McGlinchey. He's definitely a lot cheaper than the, $17, $18 million that McGlinchey got per year. Can he be better in pass pro and about as good as McGlinchey in the run game? If that's the case, that helps out this San Francisco offense a lot. BV50 with another donation. Thank you so much for supporting the show, everybody. Do you think that we will see my pick your poison play, lining up Debo and Christian McCaffrey in the backfield at the same time? They did that a little bit last year, where Debo and CMC were on the field together in the same formation in the backfield. And I think that Kyle Shanahan has to get creative once again, right? You have Brock Purdy in the shotgun, Debo to the left, Christian McCaffrey to the right. You can fake a little crisscross run. You could throw the wheel routes. They can fake some pass pro and go out for screens. You can run little sweep play, RPO, outside zone. So many options with that. And hopefully Kyle Shanahan continues to be aggressive. What's funny about Shanahan, I watch JT O'Sullivan's YouTube channel a lot. It's the QB school. The concepts in the passing game are some concepts that like Joe Montana used to use back in the day with Bill Walsh. Like 7-step drops from under center. Very popular for Montana to do that. That's how he linked up with Jerry Rice. That's archaic in today's NFL, as well as the pass concepts for this Niners offense in today's NFL. So Shanahan is creative with how he schemed things up, how he gets guys open, how wide receivers are able to run free in the run game schematically. But when it comes to the pass game, I'd like to see him get a little bit more creative and innovative with some new age thinking. Kiki M, Nick Bosa is getting on my nerves. Well, get in the shoes of Nick Bosa. How would you feel if you were Nick Bosa? You have an opportunity to become the highest paid defender in the history of the NFL. Last 2 years, you've combined for 18.5 sacks and 15.5 sacks. You deserve a payday. It's one of your only opportunities to get compensated when you're at the peak of your powers, because at the end of this upcoming contract, he might not be the same player. And why would he report? Why would he practice if there's risk of him getting hurt and then he doesn't get that bag? Anybody would probably make the same choice if they were working a physical job with some type of labor that Nick Bosa is making right now. I totally see where he's coming from. Now, if you want the Niners to pay Bosa, I want you to hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. If not, I don't understand it, but freedom of speech is a thing, in my opinion. Comment why and share those thoughts even if you disagree with me. Niner Nick, will the 49ers sign Robbie Gould? Is that E40, by the way, on the profile picture? That's very, very clean, Niner Nick. So San Francisco clearly is in a precarious spot going into week 1 without a healthy kicker. They drew it up in the offseason because we saw all these kicker trades happen when kickers were getting dealt left and right. And for San Francisco, they looked at it as, we'll draft one in the 3rd round. We have another really good one in Zane Gonzalez. Whoever doesn't make the team, we trade them. And then both of them get hurt prior to the last preseason game. Kyle Shanahan hasn't necessarily closed the door on Robbie Gould, but I don't think that Robbie Gould is going to be the choice because I think if San Francisco brings in a kicker, it's a short-term play. And because of the emotional attachment and the history with this team that Robbie Gould has, you can't just bring him in for a week and then dump him off, especially if he hits a couple of big kicks. You have to have him for the long haul because I don't think they want to do him dirty like that. BetUS is our sponsor for today's show. If you want to get in the game and bet on the games, no better sports book to do it than with BetUS. 125% deposit bonus at chatsports.com/49bet. Promo code Niners125. Jonathan Lamont Page, one of our loyal subscribers here on the show. Thanks for being a real one. What role do you see Willie Snead carving out for himself? If an injury happens at wide receiver, Willie Snead might get elevated to the 53-man roster. Right now, he's on the practice squad. And he's on the practice squad because he's a long-term veteran who is serviceable. And if you need him to play in an actual game, he's smart enough to find a spot in a zone or have a tendency to beat a guy in man and catch the football. He's lost a little bit of that juice, a little bit of that speed, but the Niners clearly like him as a fringe roster type because they continue to have him around. Draco, my dog. Any black horse moves you think that the Niners might possibly make? Man, kicker has to be one. They're so deep at linebacker. They're set at safety. Maybe for a cornerback. If anything, though, I think it comes down to this, defensive end. I think defensive end, depending on what happens with Nick Bosa, they might think about bringing in another solid edge rusher and defensive end just to kind of bring in another pass rushing option because I think they're a little bit weak there. Offensive line could be an option, but so many teams are desperate for offensive linemen that there aren't many good ones out there. Other than that, San Francisco is really, really set. Justin Abilera, I was a Trey Lance fan, but now I regret it. Mac Jones or Justin Fields. Which one would have flourished in our system? Look, I can't take the Justin Fields talk. Like, everybody is saying that Justin Fields would have been a sure thing over Trey Lance. Both of them are massive question marks. Justin Fields completed 60% of his passes last year. That was 31st in the NFL. What was one big thing that we kept knocking Trey Lance about? Lack of accuracy, lack of touch. Justin Fields literally has those same issues. And I don't want to hear that Justin Fields and his accuracy issues are because he doesn't have legit weapons. That is true, but at the same time, Justin Fields is missing layup after layup. And what I saw in the final preseason game from Fields was extremely, extremely concerning. Missing throws, missing reads, and that offense was so vanilla where they were limiting his reads to one side of the field because they didn't trust that he could go through his progressions. I need to see it from Fields first. Very good runner, strong arm, good athlete. Great guy, seemingly. But it's not like he would have been a sure thing. Mac Jones, he would have been another Jimmy Garoppolo, a guy who can run the scheme, run the system, but he wasn't going to do anything special. Mac Jones had a ceiling above him, and that's why I advocated for the Niners to take Trey Lance over him, because I thought Lance had a lot more potential, and I still believe that's the case. Justin with another one. Why waste a spot on a third-string quarterback in Brandon Allen? Because of what happened in the NFC Championship game. That's really what it comes down to. San Francisco wants to have three quarterbacks because quarterback attrition has been a thing for this organization, and we know that. Give me a follow, Twitter, a.k.a. X, at Chase_Senior, on Instagram, at Chase_Senior. If I didn't answer your question on today's show, then hit me up with it on social media, Twitter, Instagram, at Chase_Senior. Appreciate all of you for watching, as always, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button here on the 49ers Report.